cockpit area of every boat's a big entertainment area. So the owners of Wildberry built this sort of cafe style bar. Doesn't take up much space, but it's very convenient. Great place to serve food or put some drinks there. Here we have a ice maker and freezer with a beer cooler in the bottom. Large fridge, so everything you need for bartending. Storage down here, filtered water, sink, sun lounger pads. And then these pad eyes on both sides allow for a hammock to hang in this space. We have a fixed teak table, all in great shape, very nice chairs. Large commercial ice maker. Teak's all in excellent condition. It's all been recently sanded and finished. And I'll show you at night, we have a starry night feature. There's hundreds of tiny, small, almost pinholes. And at night, it makes the image of a constellation in the cockpit. It's really spectacular in the evening. Sometimes it gets a little warm in the cockpit. Wildberry has air conditioning in the cockpit area. So that's what these vents are, all on this side. So even if you're laying in this area and it's a bit warm or you're out of the breeze, you can still have air conditioning blowing on you in this space. So to raise a dinghy on Wildberry, it's quite easy. There's a crane arm here that lifts the dinghy up off of these removable chocks in the back. So it'll come up, and then these arms go out beyond the swim platform that allow the dinghy to be launched into the water. You can see they move out quite easily. The owner of this boat, when we were building it, he wanted to have a very large dinghy that was heavier than the normal size dinghy a 74 would have. So these are actually a little bit wider. They're carbon fiber struts that go all the way through the fly bridge and work very efficiently. And with a push of a button on a wireless remote, it allows the dinghy to easily raise and lower on the chalk system and be secured. The boat was built with a bracket on the swim platform for the grill. The owner built this very nice articulating arm that holds the grill. There's a propane bottle down here that it connects to, and it's a very easily accessible and secure location. There's dive tank storage for 8 full-size tanks, and you'll notice here is a quick disconnect for a fill hose, so all the dive tanks can be filled in this compartment without having to remove them or move them to another location on the boat. And the dive compressor I showed you in the starboard engine compartment is connected to these fittings here. Back at Wildberry, the owner does a lot of diving and kiteboarding and that sort of thing, so he wanted a place specific to hang BCs and wetsuits and things like that to dry. So there's this whole rack that he had designed at Sunreef to be able to hang all of dive gear and kiteboarding gear to dry. There's also a rain shower. Also on the transoms, there's shower wands on both sides. The shore power cord is on a Glendenning system. So this shore power retracts into there. There's an electric motor that drives that brings the cord in. It's a heavy cord, so it's very convenient to be able to handle it that way. On the Sunreef 74s, the transoms taper in a little bit. So if you're alongside a dock or a dinghy, this part of the boat comes a little further away from the dock. So these steps make it quite easy to step from the boat onto a dock where otherwise you wouldn't have a place to securely stand between the step and the side of the boat. There's a gate on the side and steps, so it's possible to get off the side, but this is very convenient. It's a set of mooring capstans here. These are on both the starboard and port side of the boat. There's a set of buttons that control them, either high or low speed, and this will help the crew maneuver the boat into the dock. And on the port side of Wildberry on the transom, we have a swim ladder attachment. So the swim ladder folds down, folds back up. Same steps that we saw on the starboard side, and dive shower here on the transom. I'll show you some images at night where all the courtesy lights are on the deck. These are a couple of the fittings. They really look great and spectacular at night. This is the starboard engine compartment. You can see the engine's in great condition. On this side, we have a dive compressor that says fill shut off. It's just been serviced, and it has a remote fill station in the cockpit locker where the dive tanks are located, so it can be filled there. In the back, we've got a Glendenning. This is a shore power cord reel that allows it to roll in and out. On this back side here, we have day tanks for the fuel, so the fuel can be pumped from the main fuel tanks, polished, put into these day tanks, and then consumed by the generators or engines. There's also a set of fuel and water separators. There's control panels for the shore power system, and then we've got a big filter system here in the back for the day tanks. So on both sides there's an Onan generator. This is a 23 kilowatt unit. Also Ghost security system. So this monitors the vessel anywhere in the world, so the owner knows where the boat's located, what doors have been opened, if the boat's been moved, and it also has a theft deterrent system. This is the port engine room. We've got a 23.5 kilowatt Onan generator. And on this gen, on the back side, we have a hydraulic PTO. So this is connected to the generator, so when the generator is operating, it runs the hydraulics for the port and starboard bow thruster. And that's what all this system is for. There's 2 water makers on Wildberry. They output 220 gallons an hour. This is a sea recovery unit. This is water maker number 1. There's another water maker in the back here. So on the outboard side, we've got 2 chiller units. So just below us is the 240 horsepower Yanmar Diesels. All maintenance is up to date on the engines and on the generators. We have the day tanks for the engine and the generator on the port side. It's a water circulation pump for the water pressure system. You can see the rudder shafts here in the back. All the seals look good on there. I don't see any leaks. Let's have a look at the fly bridge. The table here at the fly raises and lowers. It's electrically actuated. There's a full enclosure around the fly bridge area, so these blinds go down and connect all the way around this space. And then you can see you have the newer windscreens here around the front of the helm. At the helm, once again, we have a backup autopilot system, main autopilot, multifunction display, wind display. This is part of the yacht control system, so it shows us what lights are on, any alarms, information about the engine. We got a remote searchlight control that's on the front of the mast. We got a Maritron system that shows our fuel use and consumption. This is the controller for the flare. So that's an infrared camera on the mast where that display will come up here on the chart plotter and radar. Got the stereo control for the fly bridge. This is the remote for the chart plotter, VHF radio, and the controllers for the max power hydraulic bow thrusters, electronic engine controls, micro commanders from ZF. Nice big wheel with hydraulic steering, very easy to handle the boat with. We have a set of controls. This furls the mainsail in and out. We got the Vang in and out, Genoa in and out, and the Gennaker in and out. All hydraulic controls. We also have all the winch controls, high and low speed. All these winches are electric. Wildberry has a self-tacking jib. You can see the bracket there. It also, on the staysail, it has a tacking Genoa with a little bit of an overlap on the mast. Here you can see the hydraulic Vang, and there's a positioning indicator that lets us know when it's in the right position to furl the mainsail in and out. All carbon fiber mast, hydraulic Vang. All the control lines look like they're in good shape. And we have the furling system for the mainsail. This is where it rolls up on this hydraulic mandrel in the middle of the carbon fiber boom, and it goes up through this track system up the mast. This is a system done by Petitjean out of France. Very nice and has worked flawlessly during the owner's term of ownership. You can see all the control lines for the boat are led aft on both sides to the helm position. Sunreef 74s have this great setup, so the Jenniker sheets disappear into the coach roof. Once again, very easy to control. You can see you've got great access and visibility of the deck forward. And it looks so nice not having the martingale and the rigging there on the cross beam. Sunreef has all carbon fiber, super strong cross beam. The flybridge has a neat arrangement, so the table here in the flybridge goes all the way down to level just below the cushions. These cushions fit in over the table, so it makes this all cushion sort of bunny pad arrangement here. Unbelievable lounge area. This is all upholstered, all cushions along the side. The owner's a big water sports enthusiast, so we've got kayaks there, another set of kayaks here, stand-up paddle boards, windsurfers on the other side. We have a large satellite communications dome, so we get broadband and television in through this, and these are 2 life raft modules. The Traveler on Wildberry is controlled with an Anto flat winder, so from the flybridge a button can move the Traveler in and out, no problem. Access is quite easy up to the boom. There's a sail cover that covers the mainsail when it's on. Fits in this track, and this has a mandrel that rolls up, that rolls the mainsail up in the furling. This is a forward locker on the Sunreef 74. This space is specifically designed for water toys, additional storage, extra sails, but in the original design, it was designed to where it's large enough to actually put a jet ski concealed in this space, along with a crane here that would actually lift the jet ski out and place in the water. As we go forward, we have a hydraulic furling for the Genoa. Also hydraulic furling for the Code Zero. This particular boat was ordered with all the carbon fiber cross beam. So you'll notice there's no cables, no martingale rigging here. Nice clean look. There's a set of stanchions that fits into these fittings here on the deck and then connects to the lifeline, so we can put lifelines all the way across the front. They don't have them here. These trampolines are new. They're in very good shape. This is the forward starboard locker. This is only accessible from the deck. Inside, we've got stand-up paddleboard paddles, loads of BCs, dive gear, wetsuits. It's designed so that dive gear can be rinsed and dried off in here. It could also be utilized as a workshop, which was part of the original design to have this be a dive locker and a workshop. Wildberry has a carbon fiber mast and carbon fiber boom. It has a very significant upgrade, which is the roller furling mainsail. If you look up the mast here, you'll see that there's LED lighting all the way up the front of the mast. I'll show you an image of that, what it looks like at night. It's spectacular. We've got nice rod rigging, all in excellent condition. The Genoa sheets for the Code Zero disappear into the deck here, and they come out on the flybridge up here and are led to this winch.